We acknowledge that Tri-Cities Community Television operates on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation. We thank the Coquitlam who continue to live on these lands and care for them along with the waters and all that is above and below.
On a bright September morning in Port Coquitlam, the hometown of Terry Fox welcomed a new symbol of courage and perseverance. Community members, dignitaries, and visitors gathered to witness the official unveiling of Gateway of Giants, a striking monument honoring the young athlete whose 1980 Marathon of Hope forever changed the way Canadians rally around the cause. Coming up, we'll take you inside today's celebration and hear from those who helped bring this enduring vision to life.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at the Port Coquitlam Community Centre. We are about to unveil these sculptures for Terry Fox, history being made here today on this September 13th. My name is Tim. Thank you so much for joining us. I will be the host today, introducing different speakers. Of course, we also have other activities going on, the Mini Marathon of Hope, for example, a showing of a Terry Fox video at Mabbitt Hall inside. And also, we have this that will be presented lifting all the way up. It'll be spectacular. So, if you have a front row view, if you have your cameras out, your phones, this will be in about 20 minutes' time. We will get to that. Before we get started officially, the City of Port Coquitlam honors and thanks the Coquitlam First Nation, on whose traditional territory we are located. We are committed to learning from and working with them to build stronger communities together. So I want to ask, we have so many people here, even behind me here, who is from Port Coquitlam? Raise your hand. Me included. Okay, from. Now, who came here from outside of Port Coquitlam? Okay, lots of people. I can see Vancouver represented there. Excellent. So when you were asked, well, what's so special about where you're from? What's unique about the place you are? For me, it's simple. I'm from Port Coquitlam, and I proudly say every time, from Port Coquitlam, it's the hometown of Terry Fox. How many people do that? From Port Coquitlam, do you say that? Absolutely. That's something to be proud of. His legacy is known across Canada. His legacy is known around the world. That's so you can connect with people. His legacy lives here in Port Coquitlam. And that is something we are going to celebrate today. At this time, to deliver remarks on behalf of the province of British Columbia, I would like to welcome up MLA Mike Farnworth.
Thank you, and welcome everyone to this remarkable occasion. April 12th, 1980, a young man, Terry Fox, from our town, Port Coquitlam, dipped his right leg in the Atlantic Ocean in St. John's, Newfoundland, and started an amazing journey for 143 days, running a marathon a day across this great country. During that journey, he managed to unite our community, our province, and our country, because he had a dream and a belief to find a cure for cancer. It was a dream that united this country. Sadly, Terry wasn't able to finish his journey across the country. It ended September 1st in Thunder Bay, Ontario. But that dream didn't end. That dream continued till today. Every year, thousands of people in Port Coquitlam, in communities right across our province, right across our country, and indeed around the world, run in remembrance of his dream, a dream based on belief, on perseverance, on sacrifice, for something bigger than he was. Something, find a cure that impacts every single one of us in one way or another. And so today, the unveiling of this statue a tribute to the legacy, a tribute to the hometown boy, our hometown hero, is something that we should all take great pride in. An opportunity not just to honor Terry Fox, but to ensure that his legacy continues, not just for today, but for decades to come. And one day his dream will be realized and we will find that cure for cancer. So thank you all for being here. It is a tremendous honor. We're in the same class in school. This is very special. And what a great place to come from. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Minister Farnworth. Talking about the Terry Fox Run, yes, it's done across Canada, it's done around the world, and tomorrow is the Terry Fox Run. How many people have signed up to run? How many people have signed up to run in Port Coquitlam tomorrow, including me? There we go. So far, we've raised $67,000, this community, and let's keep that momentum going. At this time, I would like to introduce the next speaker, Terry Fox's best friend, who drove the van behind Terry as he ran. Incredible perspective. Please welcome to the stage, Doug Alward.
Well, thank you for coming today. This is wonderful. I figured I should speak once every 45 years in Port Coquitlam. And I thought it was kind of neat that Mike Farnworth was scheduled to speak because Mike went to school at Maryhill Junior with Terry and I in grade 8, 9, and 10. So thanks, Mike. Port Coquitlam, Poco, Terry Fox's hometown. It was here at the old Poco Rec Centre in early January 1971 at age 12. Terry and I came on sports registration day. Terry and I registered for soccer as we had met on the Aggie Park soccer field at age 10, and we had a great coach, Mr. Ken Alkins. After registering for soccer, a 31-year-old mother of 4, Elaine Kramer, jumped in front of us and convinced us to join the Poco Pacers, the first certified track and field club in the Tri-Cities. The cost was $1, so that was a good deal. The next Saturday, our first Poco Pacer practice was held in the Maryhill Junior Secondary Gym, just 500 meters from here. Now it's called the Pitt River Middle School. And Elaine Kramer, a national team sprinter in her younger days, had brought Don Steen, the head coach of the Canadian Olympic track and field team, to teach us that morning. Partway through the practice, the gym doors burst open and Olympian and world record holder Irene Piotrowski came running in. It was quite the sight, and I'll never forget it. Irene had grown up in North Poco on a chicken farm and was here to teach us how to run fast. 8 months later, Terry and I entered Maryhill Junior Secondary, a grade 8 to 10 school, as grade 8s. Betty and Raleigh Fox brilliantly had bought the Fox family home over 3.5 kilometers away from Maryhill, and from any school in Poco in that matter, because there's no Westwood Elementary School nor Maple Creek back in those days. So this forced Terry to run to school and home every day, 7 kilometers, and if you count that with all his sports, he was doing, I estimate from the age of 10 when he moved to Poco, to age 18 when he graduated from Poco High, he probably had to run about 20 kilometers a day. So if you wonder how he got in shape to run across Canada, that was how. At Maryhill Junior, we had 2 outstanding teacher coaches, Bob McGill and Fred Tink. They're both here today. Bob had a master's degree and was a rugby, football, basketball expert. In future years, Bob would become the assistant superintendent of schools for all of Coquitlam. And over the last 45 years, he's probably spoken to over 300,000 students in Coquitlam and all over BC. Fred Tink had a master's degree in education and a science degree in kinesiology and was a running and wrestling expert. Fred would eventually become a principal. Fred coached 3 future Olympians at Maryhill, wrestlers Chris Rinke and Steve Marshall and runner Tina Connolly. Plus, he also coached MLA Mike Farnworth in wrestling. He said Mike was a really hard worker, and he's obviously done that in Victoria for several years. In our grade 8 phys ed class, Bob McGill said any grade 8 who runs 8 laps in 12 minutes gets an A. Well, Terry and I were Poco Pacers, so we ran 8 laps. Bob then ordered us out for the after-school cross-country team, and in those days, he looked like he was 6 feet tall. He was a football coach, and you better listen or watch out. So we went out for cross-country, and in our first race at Blue Mountain Park in Coquitlam, as a 20-minute race over muddy fields and hills, we came last. Oh, Terry came last. I beat him. Cross-country was a really tough sport. From grade 8 to 10, Bob McGill ran our legs off on the basketball court. In winter, in a fall cross-country and spring track, Fred Tink tortured us. By age 15, Terry and I could run almost 10 laps, 4 kilometers in 12 minutes, and were ranked in the top 1% of all high school runners in Canada. Bob and Fred deserved honorary doctorate degrees in torture. Terry would never again run in high school in cross-country or track. Once we got over to Poco High, he stuck to soccer, rugby, and his #1 sport, basketball. In grade 8, Terry was the worst basketball player on a 33-man team. And that's not exaggerating. I met the 32nd worst guy, and he said he knew only one player is worse than him, so he became the manager. Terry was awful at basketball. Coach McGill even suggested he try wrestling. Terry refused. He wanted to play basketball. So he practiced, and he practiced, and he practiced 2 hours a day for 5 years, and by grade 12, he was the best player in all Port Coquitlam. And he went on to become the first graduate of a Port Coquitlam high school to play for the Simon Fraser University Klansmen basketball team. After Terry lost his leg to bone cancer, he became a 3-time national champion in wheelchair basketball with Rick Hansen, and likely would have played on the Canadian Paralympic team had he lived. As an amputee runner, Terry could run a 42-kilometer marathon over 2 hours faster than the world amputee record of the day. On his Marathon of Hope cross-Canada run, Terry averaged almost a marathon of running a day, and he would never walk. As always, it didn't count if he had to walk, so he made sure he ran no matter how much it hurt. And even today, if you look it up, you can't find any amputee in the world's run 143 marathons in 143 days. But Terry realized what the most important thing in life was: giving back. As all of his coaches and teachers had volunteered thousands of hours of their time to help him, Terry decided it was time to sacrifice himself for others through the Marathon of Hope cross-Canada run for cancer research. I will end with Terry's words. I had blisters on my heels and toes. It was like running on hot coals. But I kept going, one step at a time. If I die, I will die happy, doing what I want to do. I am just one member of the Marathon of Hope, equal with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doug. I don't know about you, but I just learned that about basketball. That Terry was playing basketball, and next time I'm shooting hoops here in Poco, I'm going to be thinking about him and what he accomplished with basketball, and then, of course, what he went on to do with the Marathon of Hope. The next speaker that I'd like to welcome up to the stage is somebody who also shares, like me, a passion for fundraising, and for good reason, because she is the niece of Terry Fox. Please welcome up to the stage, Kirsten Fox.
Hello, Thank you for having me. Thank you, Tim. Yes, my name is Kirsten Fox, and Terry and my dad are brothers. I am Terry's eldest niece, and like many of us here today, I never got to meet my Uncle Terry. Terry passed just 6 weeks before my mom and dad were married. So I grew up much like most of us here today, not ever meeting Terry Fox, but learning about him in school. My experience is not unlike children who grew up in Port Coquitlam and across Canada, actually. When I started school, I learned about Terry Fox, the Canadian hero. I read the books, I watched the videos my teachers showed me. We had Terry Fox assemblies and runs in our schools. But at home, I understood more about who Terry was as a person, as a regular guy. He was very much like me. He was very much like all of you here today, just from a normal family in Port Coquitlam. Terry and my dad were close in age and close in friendship. I heard about his sports teams and school time, about all their summer jobs that Terry and him had as children and their childhood. And of course, you all got to hear some more stories from Doug here today. So to me, Uncle Terry was a loved one we lost to cancer far too young, and he was missing at our family occasions and holidays. But the stories I heard and the stories that were told all included Port Coquitlam. It's hard to think of Uncle Terry and my family without thinking of the many, many years he and my family spent in this community. While there are no Foxes that currently live in Poco anymore, it still feels like our home, and it's so important to the person that Terry became. It's an honor to be here today for the unveiling of these new sculptures. My family is beyond grateful for this new honor for Terry. It's been an absolute pleasure working with the City of Port Coquitlam and with the artist Casto Solano. Hello? Oh, thank you. Both have approached this initiative with so much care and so much thoughtfulness that we're so grateful, so thank you. It's amazing to see it come together today and that the community can now enjoy these interactive pieces. And it's exciting to know that visitors can learn more about Terry and the city that raised him. Terry never would have considered himself a giant, as this display will be called the Gateway to Giants. He would have said he was just humble and hardworking. The Terry most people know had one mission, and that was to fundraise for cancer research. 45 years later, we continue to see the impact of what Terry started with his Marathon of Hope. Terry had an impact on all of us here today. And I hope that the Gateway of Giants will be a reminder of how the city of Poco had an impact on Terry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirsten, speaking about Uncle Terry. And I don't know how many people here the same way that you learned about Terry in the elementary classroom. You learned watching a video. At least I did. I remember that. But I mean, how many people you were watching on VHS? Maybe I'm dating myself just a bit there, but that was the case. As I was growing up, learning more about Terry. So thank you to the educators who talk about Terry in the classroom and introduce his legacy to the students in Port Coquitlam and beyond. At this time, as we get closer to the unveiling of the sculptures in just a couple of minutes here, I would like to invite up the Mayor of Port Coquitlam, Brad West.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our incredible Port Coquitlam Community Centre. What a historic day for our community. It's a day I know we will all remember, because this is one of the most meaningful projects that the city has ever undertaken. And I am so proud to be joined by my colleagues on City Council who shared a vision and a determination to deliver it. So please join me in welcoming Councillor Steve Darling, Councillor Nancy McCurra, Councillor Daryl Penner, Councillor Paige Petru, and Councillor Glenn Pollack. And Councillor Dean Washington couldn't be with us today, but he sends his regrets. I also want to acknowledge our Member of Parliament, Ron McKinnon, who's joined us today as well. Thank you, MP McKinnon. Today isn't just about unveiling a piece of public art. Today, we're unveiling a story a story rooted in this city, a story that moved an entire country, and a story that continues to inspire wherever it's told. This Gateway of Giants is not just about size, it's about spirit. An 18-foot sculpture of Terry in motion, capturing his determination, his optimism, his drive. And a life-size statue of Terry as a teenager, book in one hand, basketball in the other, just like a kid from Port Coquitlam, like so many that I see here today. This artwork reminds us that before the Marathon of Hope, before the millions raised, before the global legacy, it all began here, on these streets, in our schools, in this neighborhood, in our community. Back in April, we had the opening of the Inspiring Local Champions exhibit inside the community center. And I shared that there's something so special about being Terry's hometown. It's not just an incredible honor, it also brings a responsibility. We don't honor Terry simply by raising statues or naming buildings. We honor him by telling his story and reminding the next generation that you can come from an ordinary place like Port Coquitlam and still change the world. And these sculptures are a part of that story. They are both a literal and symbolic gateway that lead to the exhibits inside this center, where you'll see Terry's school ID, his Marathon of Hope shirt, and his prosthetic leg. They show us where Terry began and where we can all go. And most profoundly, they make us realize he was one of us. I'll never forget standing with my son, Liam, who was about 5 years old at the time, and we were in front of Terry's statue at the high school named in his honor. Liam was so interested in learning everything that he could about Terry. So we talked a lot about him, who he was, what he did, and most importantly, why he did it. I'll never remember Liam turning and looking at me and said, "Wait, Dad, Terry was actually like from here?" That moment has stayed with me. And I hope many of the parents and kids that I see here today and throughout our community will have those same conversations right here in this plaza with these sculptures, prompting the questions that matter in life and igniting the spark that lights the fire in all of our kids so that they can start their own marathon of hope and make a positive difference in our world. I want to thank Casto Solano, the incredible artist whose work captures not only Terry's likeness, but his heart and his spirit. He did it with care and a deep respect for Terry and our community, and we are forever grateful to him. Thank you, Casto. To the Fox family, Kirsten, Fred, the entire family, thank you for your trust, your partnership, and for sharing Terry with all of us in such a meaningful way. We are so proud of the work that you do every day to carry the torch, and no matter where that work will take you, POCO will always be home. A project like this doesn't happen without the work and support of a team, and I want to recognize all of those who played a role in bringing this to life. I want to extend a very special thank you to the many city staff who worked so hard on this project, including Glenn Mitzel, Carrie Nemo, Robbie Smith, Leslie Perry, Ian Wind, Carly Dalgarno, Dave Kidd, Jimena Ibakachi, Jason Daviduk, Sarb Atwal, Trent Campbell, Mitchell Guest, Roy Savage, Axel Garrett, Jason Foxen, and Chris Tompkinson. Thank you so much. A very special thank you to our parks team for all their hard work, Your effort in keeping our entire city beautiful is always noticed, and we especially appreciate the extra care that you have given to this area, and it's truly appreciated. To the Poco Arts Council and community members who were part of the original adjudication and selection process, thank you. To Dustin Diltz from Public Grounds Landscape Architecture for the landscape design, and Brad Michael and Sean Miller from Canadian Landscape and Civil Services Limited for their landscaping, thanks to you. To the Surrey Monument Company for the beautiful plaque, and to Stone Marks Engraving for the inspired words on the benches, thank you. Thank you to the team at Great Northern Way who installed the Gateway of Giants. They were so careful and precise with every detail, ensuring a perfect and seamless installation. Thank you. To Phoenix Truck and Crane for their incredible support in unveiling these sculptures. Thank you for being with us every step of the way for its final delivery. To every hand that touched this project in some way, you have given our city something that will inspire generations, and that's something that you should be incredibly proud of. Thank you to all of you. And thank you to all of you. Thank you, Port Coquitlam, for being here. I invite you to stand before this gateway, look up, reach out and touch the bronze, let the sun, let the light shine through, and remind you that Terry's dreams, just like all of ours, have no ceiling. And remember the words on Terry's gravestone, right here in Port Coquitlam. He made his too short life into a marathon of courage and hope. Let's keep that marathon going. Tomorrow morning, I hope you'll join us for the 45th annual Terry Fox Hometown Run right here in Port Coquitlam. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor West. That story really resonated when he was talking about his son. When he was talking about his son, seeing the statue and then being able to tell the story about Terry Fox. So my son, not quite 5 years old, he's only 18 months, but he saw that statue over at Hyde Creek of Terry Fox, and he pointed up. And I said, that's Terry Fox. And to this day, he can say Terry Fox. It's just the start. That's how powerful these statues are. It is the introduction for the young and for many people who are unaware of the legacy of Terry Fox. Without further ado, I would like to welcome back Mayor Brad West and also Kirsten Fox over next to the statue, and it is time now. Get out your phones, get ready for those selfies, whatever you need to do, hashtag City of Poco. In just a few moments, we will have the unveiling of these new sculptures of Terry Fox.
We have a plan.
Once again, a big round of applause for these two new sculptures of Terry Fox.
I think what it means is recognizing, paying tribute to a remarkable young man from our community who grew up with, I went to school with, who, as I said earlier, inspired a community, inspired a nation, and show that anyone with a dream and determination can accomplish great things. And I think this is a really special day for POCO.
Today encapsulates the whole picture of Terry. Terry lost his leg to cancer when he was 18. The small statue in front is before he was the age of 18. So he's got 2 legs. So this is where Terry lived, where he grew up, where all of this began. And then behind we've got a giant statue. So it's like an evolution of Terry's life. And going back into their recreation center and behind as well, we've got the lots in the back where you can see the Terry Fox where he ran, and inside you can see the different artifacts of Terry's journey. So we welcome everybody to come here, and this is a huge day, and it's everyone's day. And we're so happy that the Terry Fox family was guiding the city every step of the way, as they always do. So thank you for being here as well.
So I'm deeply honored to be here today as we build on the amazing legacy of Terry Fox, one that it's a challenge to live up to, but one that we all must do. So I commemorate, or I congratulate the city for all the work they've done to honor his legacy, and we as individuals must carry on that work.
Well, it's an incredibly meaningful day for the City of Port Coquitlam. There is nothing this community is more proud of than being the hometown of Terry Fox. And that special honor does come with a responsibility to tell Terry's story and ensure that the next generation continues to be inspired by what he did. And so on a day like today, to be able to bring the community together and celebrate Terry, to be united about something positive, his values, the lessons he teaches us, I just don't have the words to describe it. I'm so proud of this project, and I know it's going to inspire generations of Port Coquitlam residents for a very, very long time.
Yeah, today is really special to the grand opening of the Gateway to Giants Terry Fox displays. It means so much to our family, the Fox family, to be here today, to finally see the unveiling. We've been working really closely with the City of Port Coquitlam and the artists on this project, and to see it come together today is really special. We really hope that the community and visitors to the community will enjoy it for years to come.
As the ceremony draws to a close, Port Coquitlam's newest landmark begins its quiet mission, reminding us of Terry Fox's courage and resolve. The Gateway of Giants will welcome runners, families, and visitors, inviting them to reflect on how determination and compassion can shape a nation. Designed by internationally acclaimed artist Casto Solano, the installation invites people to step inside its open forms, reflect on Terry's journey, and draw inspiration from his determination to run across the country after losing a leg to cancer. The new monument stands as both a tribute and a challenge to keep pushing forward, to give generously, and to believe that small steps joined together can move mountains. From Wilson Avenue, I'm Yuna Fahim with Tri-Cities Community TV.